I'm Christine. Welcome to the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast, where I empower you to develop sustainable habits, challenge society, and take messy action. It's time to align with the universe for the full human experience and redefine what it really means to be successful.
It's too good, the secret is out and wow.
Welcome back to the Recovering Perfectionist Podcast, the official podcast of the dance wellness community. I am here with one of our expert level practitioners and one of my very, very good friends, Miss Kim Carell, here with the DanceSport Medical Team. Kim, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am so excited to get into this. Kim and I have been friends, peers, coworkers. We've done all the things. And Kim is, if you've met Kim in the dance world or outside of the dance world, you know what kind of an energy this woman brings. You are such a sweet, loving, supportive person, and you are the perfect person to have in this type of field. I want to start with our 3 questions.
Okay.
What is it specifically that you specialize in so people know?
My specialty is cosmetic nurse. I'm a cosmetic nurse practitioner. I work in plastic surgery, anti-aging, skin cancers, and the aesthetic look of the skin.
Skin, yes. And how long have you been doing this specifically?
32 plus years.
Not to show your age. That wasn't the reason I asked the question.
Let's stop at the 32.
And you've been doing this in the dance world for how long as well? Because you started dancing and that kind of got you into that.
I started dancing back in 2012 is when I started dancing,
Wow.
and it just flowed over into the dancing world, and it just kept growing and growing until we saw that huge need, and here we are today.
Incredible. Yeah. Let me tell you, those of you who know Kim know that getting a B12 shot from Kim at a dance competition will make or break your weekend. That is it. Yeah, it's just incredible. And I am not someone who likes shots, but every time I get a B12 shot from you, I never feel it. You are the only person I trust to give me a shot.
I pride myself in giving good shots that people don't feel and doesn't hurt, so they can concentrate on their dancing and go about what they're doing and not afraid of the shot.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, it works every time for me. And then your target client, who do you specifically help? Obviously dancers, but like, what is the symptoms? Like, why would I come to you essentially?
So we have 2 different target clients. Basically, we have the professional dancer or the am dancer that is having some type of performance problem, physical problem. So we have sports medicine behind us as well. So we're here as sports medicine to help keep them on the dance floor or get them back on the dance floor pain free, or support whatever issue they have, and then look into how to heal this issue so they don't continually make it a chronic issue. And then we have the the aesthetics on the side, and that's where we keep you looking beautiful, feeling good, keep the hormones where they need to be. And there I work with the judges and the coaches, the dancers, husbands and wives of the dancers, a little bit of everybody.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. I love how you separated that into like the aesthetic, but also like the medical side. Gosh, we talk about this so much, not just on this podcast, but in the dance wellness community, about the importance of having a medical team. That's why I just love what you've created here in our dance world. They're in NBA, NFL, all of these high-level athletics, Olympians, they have access to people on the sidelines that if there's an injury right away or something happens, or I remember being at a competition where someone went into cardiac arrest, and thank God you were there. How I want you to explain how important it is for us to have a team like yours at an event.
The importance is huge. It's huge for the owners, the competition owners. It helps just on their insurance level, but the dancers themselves can feel secure that there's help there if they need help right away.
Yes.
I found this, we fell into this where people started to know what I did. as a living, and I'm a dancer and I'm an amateur dancer. And they started asking me for help. And I started helping people and helping people to the point where I was working more than I even was dancing. But then I
Mm.
realized as I'm traveling the different states, my licenses only go to certain states. And there's certain states that it's not worth getting a license for a one weekend a year. So I couldn't go work at those competitions. But there had to be a better way to protect my license. And I started to do more and more. Like you said, we've done a couple of full arrests. Uh, we've done some pretty major concussions, people getting knocked out, broken noses, and we're right
Yeah.
there. We're right on the scene. We're immediately there. We've got all the equipment we need, and we can just help and get them the help that they need immediately, not having to wait. Like in a hotel in these busy cities, you can wait 15, 20 minutes. That full arrest that we had was almost 30 minutes before any EMS actually got to the scene. And we were right there working on the minute he hit the ground. Um,
Yeah. That is so crucial what you just said, as far as if you call 911 or even hotel people calling 911 or someone coming, it takes so long those are precious moments.
Precious moments. Yeah, we can be there right away.
Yeah.
So I saw this. It started to become an issue because I was worried about my licensing, and there was more need and more need, and I wanted to fulfill this need. So we looked into this, and we found that there's this Sports Medical Act, and basically any professional team, most of the teams, like your Broncos, they have their own medical team. Any of your other sports, they have their medical teams. Well, I'm a cowgirl, and so do the rodeo, the professional rodeo PRC.
Yeah.
They have their own, it's called the Justin Sports Medicine Team. So Justin Boots puts up millions of dollars a year, and they have 5 different horse trailers. And in those horse trailers, it's an OR, X-rays, casting material. So when a cowboy gets hurt, they've got immediate care right there on the scene at the rodeo with doctors, with surgeons right in the back to fix them. And it's free of charge for the rodeo cowboy. So if you're choosing which rodeo I'm going to go to as a cowboy, I'm going to go where the Justin Sports Medicine Team is because I know they're there to help me to keep me on my game. So I went with them and followed them for about 5 months and took their model of what they did and put it to the ballroom world because all your other teams, the sports medicine teams, are with the team. Like the Broncos, the medical doctors are in Denver, they're all together.
Hmm.
Dancers come from all over the world, and we show up at a ballroom somewhere from all over the world. Well, the rodeo
Yep.
people do too. They come in from all over, and we show up in an event center. We show up at an arena, and they're coming from all over. So their model made the most sense to plug it into the dance world.
Love it.
Took their model, we plugged it in, and pretty much all of that we plugged it in, went ahead and got sanctioned, got it written up by some attorneys, wrote up our positional paper, and now we are completely covered. My license now follows me wherever I go as long as I'm brought on to a sanctioned event, and anybody who's on with me, their particular state license follows them when they're within we call it the Dance Sport Medical Team. DSMT is what we named it.
ESMT. I love that. I love that so much. So let's go back a little bit because you said free of charge for the Cowboys.
Yes.
Same model here.
Same
Um,
model.
you have you have a lot of different things that you offer when you do B12 shots, cosmetic things, fillers, that kind of stuff. That is an expense aesthetically from the dancer.
That's-
However, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's correct. Yes.
Correct. But if something were to happen, like you said, a sprained ankle, a cracked rib, concussion, a cardiac arrest, anything like that, you're on the scene, you're there to help them free of charge to the dancer.
That is correct. And I did expand
Incredible.
upon that a little bit from what the rodeo people do. Is when I brought on to a sanctioned event, I am free of charge for anybody there at that event. Vendors' family, owners,
Wow.
workers of the comp owners. I'm there for spectators, not just the pro dancers, am dancers, and the judges. I'm there for everybody.
That's incredible.
And
That's
any
go ahead.
Yep, sorry, anything that's of sickness, illness, injury, we do that completely complimentary. We don't charge for anything. Right now, we're able to cover our expenses when it comes to, we do KT taping. I'll meet people before they dance and I'll get them all supported up. You do all of that. So far, we haven't gotten where I can keep affording it. Now, if they need IVs, they need medication, they need some shots, then that's going to come out of pocket. And that's what I talk
Right.
to a dancer and we work with them and what they can afford and how they want to
Right.
proceed with that.
Yeah. But still, I mean, to have that kind of support and that, like you said, that insurance to have you there if something goes wrong. Now, granted, from a high level athletic uh, sports, competitor, we're not going into a competition going, oh gosh, something might happen. I hope I have my team ready. You know what I mean? We're going
Right.
into it like, I'm invincible. I'm a superhero. Nothing's going to happen to me, yada, yada. And that's kind of, I feel like, how our mindset should be when you're going into a competition of that level and that caliber. However, things are happening, and I think what I see happening is what gets to you, because we like to put we have now 11. You're our 11th practitioner joining the dance wellness community, which is amazing. And we have everyone from nutrition to physical recovery and physical therapy to financial wellness and mindset and confidence and business and branding and all of those things, pro-am competition prep. So what I see happening is, when it gets to your point, if something happens where maybe they are dehydrated and they pass out on the floor, right? That
Yes.
could have been avoided maybe with like our dance sport dietitian, Miss Ricky Lee, and she could have guided them in some nutrition there. But the idea is that all of these practitioners, what they do, work hand in hand together. And you're
Yes.
kind of like the insurance policy at the end, where it's like, if
Right.
something just doesn't click that day, or
If
a
you
freak
come down with
accident.
flu or something, like you get sick or
Yeah.
got the flu, we were there to help you.
That's it.
Yes.
Or a freak accident where maybe you sprain an ankle, you run into another dancer, a suitcase rolls over your toe. I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be anything. I'm not trying to like put those things out in the universe, but like just to talk about it. So to have you there in that regard, I mean, for any organizer that has had you, you now have how many competitions a year?
How many are we doing a year?
Yeah, how many are you attending and doing this at?
This particular year, we have 18 on the books already for 2025.
That's
Mhm.
amazing. That is
Yeah.
so amazing. And for those organizers who now have brought you on to do this at their event, what's the feedback you're getting?
Most of them brought us on because either they knew me or they've had treatments with me, or my sister who does a lot of the IV therapies ahead of time. A lot of them have all of a sudden seen when they brought us on, wow, the value in us. We were at one, and we had the organizer's wife was choking, and we were
Oh
right
my
there to
gosh.
save that. We had another one a couple months ago. We had a pure anaphylactic shock down in the hair and makeup room, and we were right there to
Wow.
stop it immediately. So they're seeing the value. And a lot of the organizers didn't realize how much sickness or injury was going on behind the scene. And so
Oh
I
my
let them
gosh.
know that, hey, we
Awful.
just did 29 people, and three of them were going to pull out, would not be able to keep dancing, but we were able to keep them dancing, keep them on the dance floor because of what we did. So we let them know everything behind the scene, or even just the judges that get sick. We're calling in prescriptions. I'm running to CVS with Uber and coming back and getting their prescriptions called in for them to get them back out judging and keep them healthy.
Right, because that's the thing, is that if something happens, I mean, we don't have judges waiting in the wings. You're just down a judge now. And then competitors, yeah, I mean, the idea is that now you're looking at refunds, you're looking at, all that kind of stuff when it comes to a dancer pulling out of a competition. And what a terrible experience, you pay all this money, or you get all excited, you get your hair and makeup done, and you can't even compete. So for you to come in here and just kind of like diffuse the situation and just keep everyone calm. That's my favorite part, honestly, Kim. This is why I love you so much, is because your energy is some of the best energy to have when you're in an emergency. Because I just like, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good in an emergency for the most part, but when it's happening to you, it's terrifying. And you are so calm and so careful and so just attention to detail when it comes to how that person is feeling in the body language. Talk to me a little bit about what it takes to, have that experience with a dancer when they're in that state of panic.
Well, that just comes back from experience. My whole family's medicine. I started
Yeah.
running with the ambulance at 15,
Wow.
and you just learn. I love emergency. I run on that type of adrenaline. It's
Yeah.
going on inside of me, but you learn so much. That look at your scene, look at mechanism, injury, take in the whole picture. and I'm
Yeah.
doing all that, well, I'm very quiet and calm to that person. My mind's going and I'm thinking ahead and looking and diagnosing, but that just comes from years of experience. I ran 20 years
Right.
in the ambulance outside
Wow.
my own specialty practice.
Yes, yes, yes. So, right, because you have your own clinic
Yes, in Colorado Springs.
in Colorado Springs. And how long have you had your clinic?
I have had that clinic 23 years.
Wow.
Been out 23 years on my own. I do have a satellite clinic up in Denver at the Denver DanceSport studio up there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have another small down in Colorado, southern Colorado. I have one down by Wolf Creek Pass. I have another uh, small satellite one I do once a month down there.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, you've been working with dancers for quite some time with even with your clinics. I've been to your clinic in Colorado Springs. It's a beautiful space and it's just so warm. It doesn't feel like you're getting medical attention. It feels very homey, very very almost cabin-like. It's very fun.
Colorado Aspen. Colorado
Yeah,
Aspen.
yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. And you've done, I mean, just for those who are, curious, I've gotten multiple B12 shots, which I want to talk about from you, which are a game changer. You've done like some laser treatments on some scarring on my back. I was terrified for a while, even just to get blood work done, because you just have these nurses sometimes that just come in and they're just not very sensitive. You know what I mean? I need that extra sensitivity. And so, yeah, you've done that for me. And so I've experienced your practice and your care firsthand. Tell us a little bit about the B12 shots. That's kind of like the intro to how a lot of people get to know you, why those are so popular and why they're so important.
Yep, two people get to know me two ways. Either B12, they've heard about it and they come with the B12, or through an injury. That's how we make
Through
our
an
friends.
injury.
Through an
Right.
injury. Then they become patients of other things.
That's it. Makes sense. Makes sense.
The B12s, and I started with them. I have three different mixtures of B12s that I worked with a compounding pharmacy with a particular pharmacist. I was doing stuff for the Olympic Training Center, which is just down the road from my office, and I was doing it with triathlon runners, and that's how I got into dancing. My dance partner was a triathlon runner as well as a dance instructor.
So cool.
So we made B12s just for exactly what did the dancers need? What did the amateur dancers need? What do the pros need? I lost you
Yeah.
there. Back.
No, we're good. We're good. I hear you.
What do the pros need that are flying in overnight and trying to keep them
Yeah.
down? They've had not a lot of sleep. They're blowing 8,000 calories, dancing to 2 in the morning, back up on the floor at 9 in the morning with a student. What do they actually need? So we've put these complexes together. They're all natural, completely vitamins, and mostly a B complex, which helps grow back nerve endings. It helps the recovery, helps you not to have that crash afterwards. As you're burning energy and burning out times of cells, it's replenishing all of that as well. And the nice thing about B12, they make you feel good, give you good mental clarity, give you nice energy. It's just a water soluble vitamin, so you can do it often. If you don't need it, the body flushes it out. So it's really
There you go.
a safe one to do. Some
Yeah,
people
there's no risk with it.
no risk whatsoever with doing B12 injections. And we say B12, but they're complexes. They're B complex and a couple different mixes.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I've seen, because I used to work with you, we were running around before the DanceSport Medical Team was a whole thing. We were running around doing things on deck for dancers. And the biggest feedback we heard was even people who were not sure, but they were like, I really want to try it because I've heard so many great things about it. That they would come back to us the next day and be like, oh my God, I had the best sleep of my life.
Yes. You sleep well. It doesn't make you sleep, but when you do sleep, it shuts down and replenishes and grows back those nerve endings. You wake up, you felt like you've just slept like 100 years. And even my people in my office, they wake up like, I think I'm going to clean the house before I go to work. You have such good energy.
Yeah,
Not
the quality. That's the quality we're all searching for, let's be honest.
It is not caffeine or epinephrine. It doesn't get you shaky
Right.
at all. It's just mental clarity. You just feel good. And the dancers do it once and they find how awesome it is.
They get
Very
hooked.
rarely does somebody have it and say, I didn't like it.
Right.
Maybe one or two in my experience of all these years. Most everybody loves it, and now they're looking. They text us ahead of time where you're going to be. I'm going to be at this competition. Are you going to be there? If
Yes.
you mail me B12s, and I'll ship them B12s and show them how to inject themselves. That's how much these
Wow.
are loving these B12s, how much it helps them.
That's incredible. Yeah, because I mean, like you said, it doesn't have that like adrenaline rush and then that crash. So it's not like a Red Bull or coffee or anything like that. Like so much healthier option for you. And it's direct to the source
Yeah.
of what you're doing. I usually put it in the back of my arm or like a big fatty area. You said it goes direct to my bloodstream, which I love. Uh,
Yes.
I'm like, yes, I need it now. So that's very cool too, is the timeline between something working. You know, some people be like, well, I'll just take an Advil or Tylenol or something if they have pain. You're creating this immediate. I think that's the thing. We're living in such a time right now where we want instant gratification. And what it is that you're able to provide on a true medical level, and the time frame between when something happens to when you're there to help them is so much shorter than, like you said, an ambulance coming or us calling emergency 911. And when you treat them, what I've seen from a lot of your patients, and what I've experienced with just the B12 stuff, because luckily I haven't needed you for a crazy emergency, is the timeline to when they start to feel better is so, I mean, cut in half on average of what it would be normally than if they were to be in a hospital or by a primary care, or just someone taping their ankle or whatever the injury may be. But they feel so much better so quickly. I've seen people come to you out even a couple hours after saying, "Oh my God, I already feel better."
Correct. Yes. And then I work with those people. We figure out what their metabolism is because I'm injecting it directly in. So you're getting 99% of what I'm giving you is being absorbed. It doesn't have to be digested, reabsorbed, changed to a different chemical. That can take hours, and you're only going to get 30% of what you're taking orally that you're actually absorbing and getting to use. So what I give you, 99% of what I give you is being used. So we figure out to be at your peak. Is it 9 o'clock at night? When do you dance? You dance at 11:20 p.m. Then I want to meet you at 5 o'clock and give that shot then. Or maybe they've got all these students in the morning, and so let's meet at midnight. So we wake up in the morning, you're ready to go. So I work very individually, really customized with each person, as well as the judges. We customize with them and the workers as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. The customize, and I think that's what it is. When I was saying attention to detail that you do, is that's what I think I was referring to, is that customizable product and service that you're providing, not just for the dancers, but for the competition organizers, the competition as a whole, and just for any client that you serve. Your clinic is the same way. You're really getting to know your client on a personality level, on a DNA level, a genetic level, and through the biology of it, you're customizing the experience through what it is that you have. And I've seen your medical bag, Kim. You've got everything under the sun in there to help us be better.
Dog as well. I can take care of the dog.
That's right, because you've lived on ranches most of your life. You are, like you said, you're a cowgirl. You do the rodeo and stuff. You grew up riding horses, so you are used to helping injured animals who you can't verbalize with. Talk a little bit about that.
Did just do a dog in New York. Somebody brought a dog that was sick and not feeling good. And we actually were able to work with the dog.
That's amazing. She's a vet too, ladies and gentlemen.
all ranchers, you're vets on the side anyways. I just have a good medical plastic background that just makes my veterinary skills a little bit better than neighbor next door. But we all help out at everybody as we can. When I see a call coming in, it's a rancher, I'm like, is either a kid's been hurt or somebody's sick or a horse has run through a fence and needs to get something up.
Can you imagine? I can't even imagine working with a horse who doesn't know what you're doing, but is in pain, and you have to, like, again, diffuse that situation and make sure that they feel safe and they feel comfortable in your space, and then that you can truly help them.
They're easier than humans. Dogs and
really,
humans. They trust you. They can tell when you come that you're there to help them, and they can tell you right away that they know you're there to help. You got to be careful depending on the high energy injury. They could be in the flight where they're trying to save their life. You got to be a little careful there. But for the most part, they're much easier to work with than the humans.
Interesting. Oh, that's so funny. I mean, I'm not really surprised. I guess the language provides us with, that fight or flight and that resistance.
Yes.
This is so incredible. So dance wellness community. First of all, when I thought of this idea, I would say at most 3 years ago. And I fully launched it about a year ago, soft launch. You were one of the first people I thought of. You and I have been working together. I mean, if Noelle, my husband and I have been together for 8 years. Was working with you before Noelle. I mean, we're going on a decade here of
2012. A memory popped up in Facebook at 2012, and you
yeah.
and I in St. Petersburg.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh
Yes,
my gosh, yes. At Superstars.
for stars. Yes.
My God.
In to work with a particular pro that was wanting us to come in, and that's I was going there strictly for you and I to do business and to work with this particular pro to keep him on the dance floor, keep him going 100 miles an hour.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh, the nostalgia. I love it. So yeah, so we have been doing this for quite some time. You obviously were one of the first people that I thought of when it came to this because I've seen you help dancers firsthand at the highest level. And that's what I want to do with this is I want to provide, we have coaches that provide, former world national champions, Blackpool champions that are helping our dancers be the best that they can be. And I was like, I think our care, our mental health and our physical, wellness should also be at that level. So I didn't want anyone to come in that was just like, I kind of want to help a little bit. I know a little bit about this and that. It's like, no, I want people that are doing this at the level that they're getting results, that the clients are obsessed with them, that they feel like this is the person I trust. And of course, you're the first person I thought of. So the fact that we're here full circle now, and now you have the DanceSport Medical Team, what does it mean to have a full entity like that to be able to put your service and your care underneath?
It's really nice because now I can advertise and let other people know because really people didn't know unless you knew me or an injury happened and your coach happens to, oh, look, is Kim here? Where is she? Where is she? And it
Yeah.
do in my heart, sometimes I'm sitting in my hot tub here in Colorado Springs and it's 10 o'clock at night and my phone goes, Kim, are you in the ballroom? And I'm obviously not at that competition. There's, I can tell when it's an injury because there'll be a couple judges, a couple um, and people, or maybe even some of the workers sitting up on the stage. I'm like, oh, there's an injury on the dance floor. I can just tell by the way my phone blows up, and I'm
Yep.
not there. But now we can advertise, so people have. You don't have to know me or have a friend know me. There's a lot of people we were missing that we weren't able to help because they didn't know our services were there. And now we're
Right.
in the ballroom. We're visible. A lot of times we're on the on deck area. We get to talk to people, and they know where to find us. If they get injured, they can come over immediately and see us, and I can keep them on the floor in between heats and keep them going.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I mean that's to keep them going because so many of these dancers, I mean, let's be honest, and I know you see this time and time again, is I mean, they're injury proof in their sense. And when they do have an injury, they're like, it's fine. It's mind over matter. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to crush this and I'm just going to dance through the pain. And that could injure it further, that could cause much more damage. So for you to be able to help them keep the dream alive, that could be at the highest stakes at a Blackpool or World Championship, or it could be just at a local comp and they don't want to let down their students, you know?
Or their parents or their loved ones that are there watching them dance for the first time.
Right, right. So that's the thing is that no matter if the dancers have that mindset of I'm going to keep doing this, you're helping them to do it with as minimal pain as possible, which number one is incredible. And number two, you're helping them to keep the dream alive so they don't have to stop because that's the worst part is there I know dancers that would rather push through the pain that is less painful for them than having to go back to their hotel room and say I can't dance today.
Right. That's one thing we bring from the rodeo world. The rodeo, your cowboys and cowgirls, that is their livelihood, like our pro dancers. And if they don't ride, they don't make money and their entry fees aren't paid for.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, and I have to make the judgment call. Can you get back on that bronc? You've got a broken rib, but what if you fall off? Is it going to go through a lung? I got to get them on there if they want to ride. So they've learned to trust me that when I say no, I truly mean no because this next
Right.
fall could be life threatening. If it's
Yeah.
life threatening or going to make the injury worse, I'm going to support it. I'm going to back it up, and then once you're done with the ride, come see me afterwards. Go get the help you need or come to my clinic in Colorado and we'll get you
Yeah.
packaged up a little better. But I brought that into the ballroom world. Let's keep them on the floor as long as it's not going to injure them more. How to
Correct.
get them on the floor and keep them through it? Because a lot of people don't want to come get help because they're going to say, oh, they're going to make me not dance. I'm like, you got a broken toe? Let's get it stabilized. Let's get it numb. Keep dancing. We'll work on this later.
That's it. Yeah, because that's the biggest reason is I don't want anyone to know about it. If someone knows, they're
Right.
going to tell me I have to stop, and I'm not going to
Yeah, yeah.
stop. I can push through. Yeah,
I'm not one to tell them stop. I'm like, how do we keep you going? How do I get you comfortable? I will
right.
keep dancing unless it becomes life threatening or it's going to get worse. They can
Yeah,
make it worse. So when I say no, they truly listen to me anymore because otherwise I'm getting you on the floor. I'm keeping you going.
I love that. That is incredible. And that is truly um I think for me, when I see, because you know me very, very well, I'm much more holistic, and most of our dancers in our industry are more on the holistic functional medicine side.
Yep.
Western medicine has failed a lot of people, but what I think you have done for me is you have given me hope that Western medicine is there to help us and not to hold us back or not to sedate us so that we can just do things and you have kind of given me this whole new look of Western medicine while from a holistic perspective, if that makes sense.
Holistic. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's completely just all Western. I look at
It's not all Western. It's not right.
the whole picture of and
Yeah.
then it's the Western training that I have.
That's what I meant is the
Yeah.
Western training. Yeah.
But the whole picture holistically as the person, I treat
Yes.
that whole person. And mixed with the other people that are there helping as well. It's not just me fixing that broken nose. Now we've got some psych behind it. We've got some performance
Yeah.
anxiety. We've got some other issues. We got maybe some nutrition issues now that and all of us working together as a team helps keep these dancers going. And it just increases the whole sport. It just makes it a better professional sport.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. This is I don't know about you, but this is long overdue for our industry.
It is.
Like, hello, where has it been? Thank you for doing this.
When I found out that there wasn't a sports team, as people kept coming to me and coming to me, I'm like, where's the medicine team here? Because any other sports industry, any other sanctioned sports has a medical team.
That's right.
I was surprised when they didn't. And then I'm realizing I am the medical team. I am the one person. I'm like, I can't do this one person in my license. I got to pay attention to that. And
Yes.
that's what made us, it took us 2 years in the process of putting it together. And then about a year to get it sanctioned and legalized and up and going. And that was December 2022 when it actually
Amazing.
came to fruition. Here we are.
Here we are. I love it. I do want to touch on something because you have been extremely vocal about it, and I'm so glad that you were, because I want to showcase just how incredibly supportive our dance community is to each other. Is you recently overcame an extremely tough diagnosis and and treatment. I want to talk a little bit about that. It's now been, has it been 2 years now?
Just 2 years this week,
Wow.
yesterday, actually.
Yeah, wow. Well, huge congratulations. I got a message from you while I was in France, was checking flights to try to come back possibly because I didn't quite know how this was going to go. But
Right.
tell us a little bit about what happened to you.
Yeah, I was actually getting ready to go to a competition. I had not been feeling good for about 10 days. Something wasn't quite right. And when I danced, it got hot and sweaty. I was having other symptoms, and I'm pretty in touch with my body. I'm like, something's not right. So I went and had some blood work done. Ended up going to the hospital. And it was actually our debut of the sports medicine team was at this competition. It was the
Oh
first
my
show.
gosh.
And so my sister was there and I'm like, and I couldn't go. I'm like, but we have to. We've put so much work into this. So my mother jumped in. Again, we're all medical. I'm like, you guys
Amazing.
have to go. And I reached out to some people in the dancing world and said, you got to wrap your arms around my sister and support her. We got to run with this. She doesn't really know the industry. She doesn't know the people like I know the people.
Right, right.
But we have to we've put so much energy and we got to keep going. So I then came up 3 days later in the hospital with a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. At that time, they gave me 2 weeks to 2 months. Not much. They didn't give me a lot of hope. They really didn't. Had a lot of miracles step into place since then. We were able to fight it. I had a Whipple surgery in July and some chemo both ends of it. Hair's just coming back in finally. And we're on the other side of it. I'm hitting 2 years yesterday.
Love
And looking
that.
good. I still, every 3 months we do scans and blood work and everything's clean. And
Yep.
I'm a walking miracle in many, many different fashions. I'm a walking miracle, but the support from the dancing world was crazy. So much the support, I felt the support and the love was just so bigger. It shocked me how big the sport. I got the dancing world, I've got the horse world, I got my medical world, the ranch world. So I got all these different worlds that don't intermingle. And when they all came together, I was pretty shocked by the amount of people, to the point where I went to a competition in between chemos shortly after surgery because I felt like I needed to go to support them, because some people were getting a little weary. We had lost some other professionals in the industry that summer to the
Yeah.
exact pancreatic cancer. We lost three of our really good professionals in the industry. And here I come in as the fourth one. And I'm like, no, I'm going to make this. So I actually
That's
went to
it.
this competition to show them that I'm going to make this. I'm going to get this beat. And I just felt like I needed to be there to keep them to see me. They needed to see that, hey, I got this. I got this beat.
Right. And you do. And
I
we are all
do.
here for you. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just, the first thing that came to my mind is no, no, universe, I don't accept this. Like, this is not, this woman helps so many people achieve their dreams and be healthy and through terrible, tragic injuries. And you're going to take this woman? Absolutely not.
They give me the diagnosis. I'm like, wait. You're going to give me a death sentence? I'm a little busy for this. I got to get on a plane tomorrow. And I was thinking about getting on a plane a couple times, but I had some quick surgery and I'm like, nah. And I'm like, could you give me something else? I'm really busy. I love life. I love what I do.
That's
Like,
it.
you can't give me this death sentence. This is not me. I got things to do.
Yeah, right, right. Well, that's
I
another
said that to
thing
the
is
doctor. I'm like, what? No, not a life. No, give me something.
the
A brain tumor or something.
seriously, seriously. But no, I mean, that's exactly it too. The positivity, the loving of life, the go, go, go. You work on adrenaline. You're always so excited about the next thing you're doing. Like for me, it kind of put into question. It wasn't, and I've maybe never said this to you fully, but I know that you'll understand it, is it put into question for me everything I've ever believed of what you put out comes back. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would like this woman who puts out so much good and so much positivity and a lot of things, I mean, we won't get into all that, but you've had some crazy things happen to you in your life and you have always handled it with such grace and positivity. And I was like, and now this? I was like, there's no way that doesn't align with my spiritual mindset. And so it questioned a lot for me of what, like, so you could put out all this energy and then at the end of the day your life could just be taken from something that quickly. Like it didn't add up.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
I totally, yeah. Yeah, I understand. I think there's purpose behind it, and the purpose
Right.
might be to touch somebody else's life. It's an experience that I now can share with other people and give support in other ways. Even through this, I've had some of the judges call me and say, "Hey, so and so, a family member has some cancer. Can you talk to them about it?" And it's not the club you want to be a part of, a
No,
cancer club, but I am. So where can I help, and how can I lift and support? And maybe we can.
that's
There's
it.
a reason for it, and the reason is to
Yeah.
support somebody, help somebody else, give somebody else some strength or some positivity. I don't know all the lives that it has touched. I know it has touched lives, and that must be
Yeah.
the reason for it. I got things to do still, and here I am, and let's
That's
keep
it.
moving forward with it. Yeah,
Let's go. Let's go.
that's
Yes. And if anyone, right, they say that God doesn't put you through something he can't get you through. And look at you with all your positivity. They're like, if anyone can make it, you can. And you've shown that time and time again. Um, I, I want to thank you for fighting so hard for the dancers. I grew up in this industry. I have seen so much of all of these different aspects of what I feel like has been lacking. And it didn't hit me until I officially like transitioned into like high performance coaching. And I was like, wait a minute, like this is not, none of these conversations are being had in the sport that
right.
I grew up in, which is so intense and very Olympic like. And I'm looking at these NFL players and these NBA players and all of these conversations that are being had to make sure that their mental health, their financial health, their physical well-being is well taken care of. And our ballroom dance industry doesn't have that just because it's a
Right.
little smaller. It just baffled me. And I was like, I'm not going to sit by and let this happen. Too many people were coming to me as well, seeing me do my coaching on the outside and going, hey, I want to chat with you. I have a question. And I was like, this is not a coffee shop conversation. Like, I want to help you, but I didn't understand the vehicle of how I was going to help these people besides them just joining my academy. And I was like, we need something specialized for the dancers. Because I realized my academy wasn't targeted towards dancers. It was targeted towards high achievers, which most dancers are. But there was something to be said about the fact that like dancers are a different breed. We're just a different species. And what I feel like we've done now with the dance wellness community is provided we're not leaving any stone unturned. I want every person that has an issue in whatever category it is to have a practitioner they can go to that can help them at a high level, not just like, oh, I'm going to give you some meal plans or, oh, I'm going to like bandage your ankle. No, I want like full on high level care and support and you know and respect and all of that. And I started digging through our community and finding so many people that were so knowledgeable and so incredible at what they do. And I'm like, why are we not sharing this with our community? Well, you know, I mean, there was always some level of excuse of why they felt like they needed to hide what they did or not promote it at a high level. And now that we're all here, I'm like, y'all, it's happening.
Right. It's coming together. Yes.
It's happening.
Very much so. Yeah. To
So,
me, it's quite, I giggle to myself a lot when in December every year is the national finals, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. That is the Super Bowl for the professional rodeos. Rodeo cowboy cowgirls. At the same time is when we have that dance competition as well. And I am in
holiday
Vegas,
classic, yes.
the holiday classic, and I have both of my worlds come together in the same city. And I bounce
So
between.
beautiful.
Some people have seen that. I bounce between the rodeo and the ballroom. I might be over in the back of a stall with my hair and makeup all done up, or I sometimes come in the ballroom and I'm like change my boots real quick so make sure I don't have manure on my boots so I smell like a horse.
Take the cowboy hat off.
Like my switch hats real quick, but sometimes the makeup doesn't switch that fast.
Right.
But I giggle to myself because I go from two ends of the spectrum, from just the dirt in the arena and horses and animals, and that's my love. I'm a cowgirl, to this beautiful high end dress up gorgeous ballroom industry, which I've come to love. It's a later in life thing that I've learned, and I've come to love them. And it's just, they're two separate things, they're two different hats.
They really are.
I
They really
love
are.
that. Yeah.
And you balance them so beautifully, like a dance in and of itself.
Funny.
No, truly. I could go on and on about what you have done for people. I am so happy, overjoyed even that you are finally getting the flowers that you deserve, the praise of what you've done for people. And I'm not even surprised that the dance community rallied around you when you were, you know, needing support and down for the count. And I think that that just goes to show now full circle, like you said, the lessons to be learned, the help that you can do on a deeper level now because you've been through certain things. And I'm just so glad that we're all here to be able to support each other in this way. And that 18 dance competitions have put their trust in you to understand the value in what you do. My question now is, I mean, it's inevitable. The growth is coming. The growth is here.
The growth is coming. The growth is here. We're getting questions about international stuff, and I'm looking into what licensing looks like that.
Yep.
I already know we're going to have to start bringing on more people, and I'm going to bring
That
in
was my
just like
question.
yep, for the rodeo people do it really cool. The Justin Sports Medicine Team, if they're coming to say they're going to be in Vegas, they reach out to orthopedic surgeons, orthopedic nurses in the Vegas area who wants to come and volunteer and work here for this day or that day.
Very nice.
It's going to be the same way when I'm in California. I'm going to have to reach out to some other sports medicine people, nurses, docs, and say, hey, would you come volunteer for a weekend or even just a session and help me out there? Because it even started now that my sister and I are having to split, and we've had to pull my mom in. I've had to pull some other volunteers in already, but we're having to split competitions and not work them together. We're getting busy already.
Incredible.
Exciting. And then we can just, now that we can advertise and we are actually a real sanctioned um, entity, we can now reach more people. And that's important to me, to reach new people.
The awareness. I mean, that's the key factor right here, Kim. Every podcast I talk about with our practitioners, every live I do in our inner circle group, every ambassador I talk to, it's all about, gosh, if I just had the awareness at the time. And
Yes.
here we are. It's why our practitioners have become so good at what they do, is because they've been through it. It's why our ambassadors have incredible testimonies, is because they've been through it. But we are trying to be here to help you not have to go through the extensive traumatic experiences we've all been through, so that
Right.
hopefully we can help you catch it. A lot of my practitioners work with just preventative measures.
Yep.
Instead of, oh, now you're burnt out, now we have to, work backwards.
Right.
And unfortunately with an injury, it's like you kind of like, it happens, and so now you're there. But there's ways to prevent injuries, and I love that you talk about that as
Mhm.
well. And then all of the B12 shots and the IVs, like those are things as
Yep.
well to keep your body going and be healthy as in a preventative way. And so that's what we're all here to do, is create that major awareness of like, we're here, so if something's wrong, please ask for help.
Please.
Don't
Yes.
feel like you have to suffer in silence. And B, the awareness of within yourself of like, I need this, like this
Hmm.
is a conversation we can have. When I talk to people about mental,
Yes.
physical, they're like, okay, yes, I get that. And then I talk to them about financial wellness, and they're like, wait, hang on, what? And so I'm like, yeah, we cover it all. We're all here to help. And there's so many aspects of wellness that people don't understand goes into it.
Hmm.
And what I love is that we're finally bringing that awareness to it, and you're just so good at doing that key component of it. And the fact that you're now able to do it on such a bigger platform is just brilliant.
And saying that, it doesn't have to be a competition. That's where I meet most of my new people, through
Yes.
injuries or B12s. But then they reach out afterwards. You can come to my clinic. I do blood work. I can, people call me and they're sick. Actually, somebody just called today. They're at a competition today and they're sick. And I called in a prescription for them because I just treated them somewhere else. So
Right.
I know what's going on.
There you
I'm
go.
not even there. I'm not even working. I'm at home. I call in a script to keep that dancer going. And so
Love it.
it becomes 24/7. And at a competition, we are there 24/7. We don't need a lot of sleep. We don't do a lot of sleep. We are there running the
Hmm.
hallways, running the injuries. Yeah, we're there 24/7. But it's outside of that too.
Well, listen,
I'm your practitioner.
your sacrifice to that, which I know to you doesn't feel much like a sacrifice because you love what you do. I've seen you in action and you thrive on that environment.
Thank you.
But
Yes.
to us, the sacrifice that you make to help dancers and know that, I mean, I know that you are there for me. I can call you at any time, and that, granted, yes, we have a friendship, but I feel like that's what you do with all your clients, is
Anybody. Hmm.
you take it to that level where they feel that they can trust you with their personal health information, their vulnerability. I mean, how vulnerable are we when we're in a traumatic situation or when we're injured? That's the last place you want to be, and you make people feel so safe and so seen. And know that this is not the end of it. We're
Right.
here to keep you going, and we're going to get through this together. Hold my hand.
Yep, and we can grow into other more medical things. It doesn't have to be just that broken toe or that broken nose. Now we're
That's right.
taking care of your hormones or your birth control or your
Yes. Oh,
acne
the
or your,
hormones, Kim.
yep,
Woo!
I got the whole hormone thing going on. And you
Yes.
got the hormones as we get older and you're not
Yes.
dancing anymore and you're putting on weight and
Right.
you don't want that figure come on. We can help with that too now.
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So for those of you, as you know, want to work with Kim specifically, obviously she has the DanceSport Medical Team. You can get in touch with Kim through our dance wellness community as well. We are all interconnected, and we are all here to point you in the direction of the best care that you can get. If you would like to join the inner circle for the dance wellness community, it is our private membership community. It is only 11 a month, $11.11 a month to join. You have access to our live practitioners. We do live calls. We do 2 to 3 a month. We have monthly newsletters, wellness blogs, recipes, all kinds of things that are practitioners are there to help. They can answer any question for you. It's kind of what Kim was talking about, that 24/7 attention is
Yeah,
that's
the
not,
concierge.
yeah, that concierge service. It's not something that not one person can do on their own, because that's a lot to give to other people if the demand gets high. But we have 11 practitioners. We are all in the group, and we can point anyone in one direction. Your questions will never get lost. You can join us in the inner circle. We are also going to start doing some live events, and we are hoping to have Kim join us in a lot of those as well, where we can do some workshops and understanding, and maybe do, I don't know, we haven't worked out all the details, so it's still very new of how we want to do it. But I would love for people to come in and maybe just feel like, oh, I have so many questions, but I don't know how to ask them or who I would ask. And I want this to be an open, safe space for people to ask their questions and talk to someone who they feel has the knowledge to help them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this whole new platform that you've brought out. That's just exciting.
Thank you so much. I just am excited we get a chance to work together.
No.
It's a little selfish on my part, but
Chocolate milkshakes, here they come.
let's go.
That's what I live off of. Just
That's it. That's what
FYI.
we live off of back in the day, running
Chocolate
from room
milkshakes.
to room.
What does Kim need? I just need a chocolate milkshake. 4 in the morning, just bring me a chocolate milkshake. I'm good. That's all I need.
Oh my God. That's our medicine, isn't it?
Yes.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much again for doing this, for everything that you do for us, for our dance community, for yourself, just for being here. We are always here to support you as well. We continue to fight the good fight and know that you are not just on the road to recovery, you are recovered, and you will stay recovered.
I'm on the road to health. That's what we're
That's it.
calling it. I'm
I
on the
love
road
that.
to, I live every 3 months. I just get healthier and healthier.
That's it. That's it. And we send all of our energy your way to make sure that you feel supported by us, because you are continually making us feel supported by you. And it is only, it only makes sense for us to reciprocate that. So thank you
I
for doing
appreciate it.
this.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be a part of the team.
Awesome. Yay. We'll see you guys next time.